Hello everyone, this is Saurabh Mishra and I'm very excited to be a part of DevOps Summit Canada chapter. And in this chapter, I'm going to be present on the session of application modernization on the multi-cloud. And this is going to be very important nowadays as the cloud and Kubernetes is going to be mainstream for every organization. So this is about me. I'm Saurabh Mishra. I'm working as the DevOps lead with Vodafone Group. It's almost more than 6 years now. Besides my, uh, daily roles and responsibility, I'm much involved in the various community engagement and the contributions. If you see there, I am enrolled an ambassador with the various program, and I've contributed a lot in terms of the open source, cloud, and the Kubernetes communities. So let's proceed on this session. So this is quite open session and it's very interactive sessions. Whatever the question you have, that is you can ask at any time. Whatever the question, there's nothing good or bad. You can ask with me. Keep this session interactive, and till if you wanted to ask a question, please unmute the mic and ask your questions. So let's discuss about application modernizations. What's the meaning of basically for application modernizations? How is going to be useful? How maximum companies, organizations adopting from monolithic to microservices? What's the motive and what's the benefit they are getting with that? So there are the certain agenda we need to be follow for every session. So in this session, I'm going to be, little bit explain about what is one second. What is the application modernization? Then after we'll discuss why you are modernizing the legacy app. Then what are the various cloud offer? So predominantly I'm talking about here the AWS and GCP offer services in this regard. Then what are the benefit and what are the various challenges we can discuss, and how can we overcome, and what are the best practices we should follow to make it the most cost effective, and this is going to the most effective how to achieve this modernization stuff. So let's define. There are the certain way you can define the application modernizations. This is one of the process of on which refactoring organization legacy apps to cloud native approach. In other words, you can say migrating from monolithic to microservice architecture. We're going to be discussing detail in the upcoming slides. Then another way we can define, like updating outdated business system and applications. How we can achieve that stuff. So if you see about application modernization in the details, is the process of refactoring, as already know, from legacy app to cloud native approach. It is the process of taking existing organization on-prem applications to modernize, may involve migrating those applications to various cloud types like private, public, hybrid. In other words, migrating from the monolithic in the details. So these are the pillars I'm going to be discussed. The first pillar is going to be your architecture and cloud native technology. So every company is, trying to bring those legacy app on the cloud native on which they can integrate with the various tools. They can integrate with the so many open source offer from your from Kubernetes cloud offering we have. Second pillar is most important, is also important, is like you have to follow the DevOps culture and automation. So DevOps is all about to one of the methodology on which we can combine the work of the developer at the application and bridge the gap between them. And you have to achieve whatever the automation you can in the existing environment. Then other ways, like this is the very big terms, digital transformation. So digital transformation is something like the various way you can transform from your application to discipline incline. And then finally it's very important as well, so we have to certain define the process, what are the process is going to be uh, achieved with the proper agile and well defined methodology. Yeah. So most important, why is most of the companies and why you want to modernize the legacy apps? So legacy apps are more often known as the monolithic applications. Monolithic applications are difficult to update, and they are very difficult to expensive to scale. So modernizing legacy app will help to business update, optimize outdated technology to achieve effective and business agility, operation efficiency, and solutions. In other way, we can say like they are the very difficult to update due to the shared and rigid scaling. Because of all of the application component having the shared pipeline altogether, it is very difficult and cost to add latest feature, which leads to complexity and the other challenges. So they are the certain way you can modernize to microservices like re-architecting, re-hosting, rebuilding, replacing. So in which each component is going to be a very smaller component, and if those are very loosely coupled, and then can deploy scale independently of one another efficiently. So these are the phases I'm talking about. First, they are divided into mostly in the three phases. Is like accession planning. In this accession planning, you have to figure out which application is going to be actually going to be migrated to microservice environment. So first of all, you have to prepare the data. You have to understand what's the application types you guys are using, and what is this really application is feasible to be migrating from your microservices, or they can work independently or not. Then once you have decided, then you have to architecting and assembling those applications all together to bring in the microservice plane. You can decide further on that. Then finally, once it is defined, you have to operate and the maintenance as well, and those services, like you have to proper team. You can basically operate, and if needed, you can make the service available at uh, any time through the maintenance process. So this is one of the example on which we are discussing what is the monolithic and what are the microservices. If you see the left side of a diagram, so this is we are discussing about the e-commerce site, on which you can see there are the various applications running: shop UI, catalog service, SC service, and discount service, and other order service. So all the client in the monolithic diagram we're talking about, all the client request is hitting on the load balance, particular load balancer, and that is finally go to the various application, and those application is getting the data from your database servers where it is hidden. And this is quite complex. If you wanted to change any particular parameter for any of the applications, so then in that case, what you have to do, you have to bring all the, you have to understand the complexity and correlation with the different all the applications together, and then it's uh, do the change as required. But it is going to be very time consuming, and this is not the best way you can achieve our. But in the microservice architecture, if you see, they are the client request. This is catering from the API gateways. API gateways is discussing about we are interacting with each and different microservices. In the microservices, you can say they can independent scale and can they are the loosely coupled with each other, and they have interacting with each database individually. So in the process where it's very fast, request retrieval is very fast, and you can scale independently as well. Yeah, so we are going to be discuss about a different offering from different cloud vendors. So I'm just going to be discuss about mostly on the AWS and GCP for application modernizations. So in this diagram, if you see on these slides, we have just figured out 5 to 6, but there are the so many services. It is going to be useful for bringing those legacy apps to modernizations. If I'm talking about mainly, the AWS Lambda is another one on which you can run the code without thinking about the servers. Another one is about Amazon API Gateway that is not listed in this gram, but let me explain. This is one of the service on which you can build, deploy, and manage the API. Besides application app sync, app sync is all about accelerator or app development with fully managed and scalable GraphQL APIs. AWS Amplify is to building, deploy, hosting, manage scalable web and mobile applications. Then we have the code deployment and code pipeline to automate the code deployment altogether process. We can use the Amazon Aurora, is basically the one of the best or high performance managed relational database engine. Then we have the Amazon ECS and EKS, on which you can rely on the high secure, reliable, and scalable to run the container application. Another one, you can run the Kubernetes application without operating your own Kubernetes clusters. And this is whole totally managed service offer for Kubernetes from the Amazon. Then we have Amazon SageMaker, on which you can build, train, and deploy machine learning models at any scale. And then finally, we have DynamoDB. This is one of the best NoSQL database we can rely from the AWS. Uh, Beside this, we have the AWS application migration service as well, on which you can automate the application migration and modernizations. Then we have AWS Server's application repository, on which we can discover, deploy, publish service list application along with that. Uh, then we have another offer from the AWS Cloud. So AWS Cloud, they have the offering the similar service like AWS, the GCP having the similar services. But yeah, but they have the one of the CAMP is there. CAMP is basically Cloud App Modernization Program, on which we have the end-to-end framework to help guide organizations through their modernized journey by accessing where they are today and identifying their most effective path forward on this way. GKE and Post is similar. GKE is something like you can say is similar with the AWS EKS. This is all together to manage Kubernetes orchestrations offer from the Google Cloud. Along with we have the Anthos. Anthos is all about you can managing your multi-cloud environment setup over there, on which you can mixing Azure, your Google, and the uh, Amazon offer Kubernetes clusters all together on the same platform. Then we have the Cloud Run. Cloud Run is like writing the code with your whatever the language you want, and you can deploy your app on the container. Cloud Build is something like quickly build, test, and deploy application to the container. And Workflow is something like you can build reliable application, process automations, and data machine learning pipeline with Google Cloud Services and API. Besides, we have PubSub as well. PubSub is basically the messaging and ingesting event-driven system streaming analytic tool. Then we have the Google Cloud Deploy, Delivery Continuous, Google Kubernetes Engine, and Enforce. So I will also written the few blogs on particular on the AWS and GCP. I can also mention reference link as well. So these are the benefit you can get it while doing modernizations. Like we have the business agility, like we can make it effective way to agile the business process altogether due to the microservice architecture. We can also enhance the security and reliability for each of the applications we have running on that one. We can also effectively and cost optimize the cost and as well, like we have the various tools like downscaler, KEDA, and there are other offering costs as well, on which you can deploy over the Kubernetes cluster and manage the cost effective way. We can streamline and homo the whole infrastructure altogether with the microservice architecture. And finally, yeah, we have the effective deployment as well of resources. Like you can, if you want for any particular application or for the particular microservices, you can deploy your deploy your do the deployment of the particular system very very effective way. The next slide is all about the challenges. Like it's not very easy to to achieve this modernization benefits. You have to do a lot of access planning, along with there are the various challenges in quarter as well. First of all is like outdated and legacy system, on which is very difficult to figure out basically which application is going to be part of is going to be migrated, which application is going to be not migrated. So it's very difficult to figure out. For that, we have the proper understanding of the application, as well as the whatever the technology we are going to be used for modernization is also very good understanding of that technology as well. Second one is most important is like the knowledge deficit, like we don't have very skill resource. We can overall having the good access planning and of all monolithic application, and to how we can migrate to modernization or microservices. So this is one of the biggest challenge I have observed. Third one is like certain in some cases we have don't have the proper budget to to bring those services in organizations we are part of. Second one, and the most challenging was the data silos, like, every groups within the same organization using the different set of databases. And we don't know about the data, database and what type of data connectivity they are using. So this is being the silo within in the single organization. So this is one of the most I can say is the one of the best challenge I have faced. And the last one is the data migration. So we have to also figure out which database, what type of migration services and tool we are going to be, choose. So this is one of the tools we have to select very efficiently and effectively to achieve this whole process of migration, in particular in terms of data. Then these are the best practices I'm talking about. First of all, adopt and re-architect of microservice distributed applications, along with prioritize the application to modernize first. Don't think about all the application is going to be, modernized, but yeah, you have to prioritize which type of application and which are the basically, first most is going to be a part of your, migration program. Then third one is the data migration design parameter. For any migrations process, you have to define and design your complete picture, the process is going to be migrated for those applications. And these are the reference links, like you can over there. I have written few of the blogs as well on which you guys can refer over there. And I have written the blogs on particular AWS offer services for modernization as well as for Google Cloud. Then these are the reference links you guys can use and reach out, and you can reach out of any medium over the LinkedIn and the medium, so we can or you can ask your question in the chat box as well, so I can, whenever I get the time, I will answer those posts as well. So that's it, and thanks for being here. You guys can connect through this with barcode, and you can send me one-to-one message over the LinkedIn, maybe the medium, whatever the medium you can order. Thanks for being there. Have a good day.